In the vast tapestry of human history, countless stories have been woven, tales of love, loss, hardship, and triumph. One such story, etched in the book of Islam, the Quran, speaks of a man named Ayyub, a prophet of God, whose life serves as a beacon of unwavering faith and resilience. Ayyub was a man who was immensely blessed by Allah. He was strong, healthy, had large plots of land, abundant livestock, and a large family. He was also highly respected and beloved by his people. However, despite his status and wealth, Ayyub was never arrogant and was always humble. He helped the poor and orphans and constantly thanked Allah for everything he was blessed with. One day in the heavens, angels began discussing who was the best man on earth, and one of them said, "It is Ayyub, as he is a man of noble character and remembers his Lord, which makes him an excellent model for all humans." Shaitan overheard their conversation and was furious, so he tried to lure Ayyub away from Allah. He went to Ayyub while he was praying, and he whispered to him about the many pleasures of life. He had to try to tempt him, however, he remained steadfast. Furious Shaitan went to Allah and said to him that Ayyub was only worshipping him due to the fear of losing his wealth. Allah told Iblis that he knew Ayyub, who was a prophet, was one of his sincere believers, but he agreed to test him to show Shaitan his sincerity. Over time, Ayyub's cattle died, his farms and lands went barren, and his servants, money and other wealth also diminished. Iblis, then disguised as a wise old man, went to Ayyub and said to him, "Some say that your wealth is gone due to you giving too much charity. Some say Allah has taken your wealth to please your enemies, and some say you are wasting your time worshiping Allah, as if you wanted to protect your wealth, He would have done so." Ayyub, however, was determined and said that Allah takes from who He wills and gives who He wills. All of my wealth was His, and He has taken it back. Shaitan then asked Allah to take his kids and thought that this time Ayyub will stop worshipping Allah. Then the building in which Ayyub's children lived crashed and killed all of them. Shaitan, then disguised as a sympathetic bystander, went to him and said, "Your Lord is certainly not rewarding you properly for your prayers." Ayyub, however, still determined, said, "Allah gives what is good for me and takes what is displeasing. Allah sees that my kids may be a strong test for me, so He took them away. I will remain thankful to Him." Shaitan then went to Allah and said, "He is still healthy, and if you take his health away, he will certainly become disobedient." Illness then struck Ayyub like a whirlwind, and his body was ravaged by disease to the point that only his heart and tongue worked, yet he continued to glorify Allah. Day after day, Ayyub endured unimaginable pain and suffering. Yet he never lost faith in Allah. He knew that his trials were a test of his devotion, a way for him to prove his unwavering commitment to the divine. In his darkest moments, Ayyub found solace in prayer. He turned to Allah for strength, seeking guidance and comfort in his torment. He never wavered in his belief that Allah had a plan, a purpose behind his suffering. With each passing day, Ayyub's patience grew stronger, his faith burning brighter. He understood that true strength lay not in physical power, but in the unshakable belief in Allah's mercy. Ayyub's friends and relatives all also abandoned him, as they thought that if he were a good person, Allah wouldn't have done this to him. Only his wife Rama stayed with him and took care of him. Shaitan then came to her disguised as a man and reminded her of the days when they had kids, land and wealth. Overwhelmed, she went to Prophet Ayyub and said, "You are the prophet of Allah. Ask Allah to take you out of this harm." Ayyub replied, "How long did we have riches?" She said, 80 years or so. Ayyub then said, "How long did we have suffering?" She said, 7 years. Ayyub then said, "How can I then ask Allah to remove my suffering if I had riches longer? It seems your faith has weakened. If I ever regain health, remind me to punish you with 100 strokes. I will not eat or drink anything from your hand. Leave me alone and go away." Ayyub then turned to Allah for mercy, and Allah in His infinite mercy told Ayyub to strike the ground from which a spring gushed forth. Ayyub drank and bathed in it, after which his health was restored. His wife, who couldn't stand to be away from him, returned home and saw him healthy and thanked Allah for His mercy. Allah then ordered Ayyub to take a thin layer of grass and stroke his wife with it 100 times so that his promise could be fulfilled. Allah then restored his wealth and gave him his children back as well. The story of Prophet Ayyub is a testament to the power of patience, faith, and unwavering trust in the divine. It teaches us that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, we can find solace and strength in our belief. As we navigate the challenges of life, let us remember the story of Ayyub, and draw inspiration from his remarkable resilience. Until we meet again, Jazakallah khair.